After spine stretch forward, we have open leg rocker. That's basically like rolling like a ball, except an intermediate version because we make the levers longer. So instead of starting from bent legs, that we actually, when we come from the spine stretch forward and we transition from that spine stretch forward, we come up tall. I'll then curl into my sits bones. I'll transfer back to sacrum. And then remembering that we reach back in occiput, we retract the cervical spine, and then that allows our legs to float. Legs are about hip to shoulder width apart. Hands would traditionally come to the calves, and we would do rolling like a ball, basically, with long legs. For this, in order to use no momentum, I'm just going to come forward a little bit so you have, you can see my whole body. So when we're coming up for this, instead of using any momentum whatsoever to perform our open leg rocker, what I want to do is basically we're going to do the same thing as we did before of sliding down the lever towards the pelvis. So we slide down as we push away with the fully long leg, trying to keep that long lever as we go through the rolling like a ball sequence, reaching back in occiput the entire time. Then the legs will come past ceiling. We'll climb back up the calves again. We'll pull down into the pelvis as we come up overhead, just shy of that big bony nub at the base of the neck. That's your C7, your seventh cervical vertebra. And we continue back down the spine, keeping that reaching back in the occiput, retracting the cervical spine as the legs come back past the ceiling. Then we slide down to the hamstring. We keep that leg long, keep pushing through the gas pedal in the foot to give me a nice, long, strong leg. And then we come to sacrum. And then in order to finish, to feel the traditional position, we'll slide back up to the calves and we'll wrap, we'll reach back in occiput, soft sternum as we reach back in occiput to find that tall position. And then we'll go for a couple more repetitions. So I'll curl that sternum to pubic bone, reaching back in my occiput at the same time for that 3-part core connection. As I slide down into the hamstrings, I start to roll up into the low back. The legs start to come past the ceiling. I slide back up. I pull down into the pelvis as the legs push away, long, strong legs, pushing through the gas pedal of the foot, up to that bony nub of the neck, our C7, and we come back down again. Remember to have soft, wide elbows the entire time, reaching back in the occiput with a soft chin, and keeping a soft sternum. As we come past the ceiling again, we slide down to the hamstrings, just below the knee, the leg long and strong through that gas pedal to push away into the hands. That brings us back up into sacrum. Then we slide back up the leg, a little higher maybe this time as we pull down. Soft chin, we reach back in the occiput, soft sternum as we try to get taller. We'll do one more repetition. As we curl in that sacrum, sternum to pubic bone, reaching back in occiput, we slide down into hamstring, pushing away with the legs to come into the low back. As the legs come past the ceiling, we slide back up. We pull down in the calves toward the pelvis, and we come up and over to our C7. Remember, no weight in the head. You should be able to nod side to side with total freedom. No gripping in the neck. And we come back down slowly. No momentum. Take your time. Keep pushing down into the pelvis as the legs push against the arms. And after we come past ceiling, we slide down into hamstring. Long legs pushing through that gas pedal into the arms to help us come through the low back into sacrum. Then once we've established that sacrum as our lowest weight-bearing segment, as our base, we curl that sternum into pubic bone. We slide up with the hands. We keep that soft sternum as we reach back in the occiput, and we really find our length, sort of the longest parenthesis shape we possibly can while in this open leg rocker position. In order to come out of this, Feet will stitch together, arms long. This is our teaser transition. And I come down, I let my legs move a little bit because it's about finding, can I maintain my sacrum as my lowest weight bearing segment and not roll into my low back. Once I know I'm grounded in that sacrum, then I come up to ceiling and I'm ready for my corkscrew. So I hope that's clear with the open leg rocker. Again, it becomes a very different exercise when the first goal really is to just completely take out the momentum. It allows for a really fascinating movement study in slow motion. I'm actually really enjoying doing ultra slow motion Pilates. So again, in order to really make sure that the body is sort of comprehensively neuromuscularly awake and activated without too much exertion to tire us, that's where I'll always start with the monkey body, rocking, mashing, rolling, maybe some spiral stretches if I'm feeling a little sort of disproportionately compressed in, the front of hip, front 180 of the hip, back 180 of the hip, back 180 of the shoulder, front 180 of the shoulder. And then I'll go into some Pilates. In order to cool this down after a Pilates practice, I'll always go in retrograde through the rocking, mashing, rolling. So I go rolling through the sequence backwards, back to ending in rocking in fetal position. So I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. And if you'd like to see the introductory masterclass, Decompress Your Spine, Hips, and Shoulders in 360 Degrees for the Monkey Body Therapeutic Movement Mastery Program, I'm happy to show you that as well. Thanks.